Let's go!
Hey there, welcome back. This is vlog 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. My memory isn't what it's used to. Once you have a kid, your brain turns to like 40% mush, so excuse me if that's incorrect. But nevertheless, we got some shit to take care of, so I'm in my car talking to my phone, which is probably dangerous and or illegal, but I got to get this shit done. I've gotten a lot of questions along with a ton of awesome feedback. It has been overwhelmingly positive, 99% positive feedback. Got a couple of haters, but 99% of it has been great. We've got a lot of questions, a lot of people opening up, a lot of people talking about some things that need to get talked about. So I like the direction we're headed. With that said, today's question is a big one, and actually I'm going to start this with, I guess, an answer. This is the topic. How I stop binges before they happen. Eric, how do you stop a binge before it happens? How do you stop? What do you tell yourself? What do you say? What are your exercises? What are your techniques to stop yourself from binging? How do you stop yourself from binging? How? Let me preface that with this. Before I answer you, let me preface it. There will be times where you cannot stop this motherfucker, okay? This fucking demon, this horrible, like, dark urge inside of you. Well, I hate to be dramatic, but that's what that thing is. It is just, it's your dark passenger. That's a Dexter reference for some of you guys who are aware of that one. But it is going to win. Sometimes you are not going to be able to stop yourself. You are going to fail to stop the urge to binge. You are going to binge. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you tell yourself, no matter how hard you fight back, you are going to binge, okay? It's just sometimes it's going to happen. It's okay, we talked about that. Failure is not final. You're not dead in the water. You can keep going. You can bounce back, all right? So let's be clear there. You're gonna binge. There's gonna be times where you're not gonna win. But the question is, how do you overcome it even once? Okay, what do you tell yourself? Now, keep in mind, my answer came from lots and lots of trial and error, lots of experimenting, and lots of self-talk too. What I used to say, and this didn't always work for me either. That's why I'm telling you guys. I don't mean to be negative, but it wasn't enough for me sometimes. Straight up, what I used to tell myself was this. Or I talk to myself, so I'm going to talk to myself right now. I'd say, Eric, is all this shit you're about to shovel in your mouth, is all this food you're about to eat going to make you feel any better? Is it going to improve your situation, whatever it was at the time? You need to ask yourself the same thing, because we need to realize that binges are not just, they don't come out of thin air. They are caused by triggers, emotional triggers, stress, anxiety, depression, even fatigue. Fatigue's a physical stressor. Sadness, anger. You have a fight with your significant other. Your dad's mean to you. You have a hard day at work. All of these things can trigger you. A death in the family, something really bad. It could be all sorts of things. Your money troubles. But what you need to realize is this: once you ask yourself that question, once you say, will this food make me feel any better? Understand that no matter how much of that food you eat, no matter how much you binge, that situation, whatever caused you to feel terrible to begin with, whatever caused you to binge initially, that situation will still be there. It is not, eating all that food, eating your feelings is not a magic eraser. Your grandma's still going to be dead. Your boyfriend's still going to have cheated on you. Your job is still going to not be there anymore. Your job's still going to suck. In my case, my job still sucked dick. It was tearing me apart. And instead of, binging, I should have just fucking quit the job. But that's a vlog for another time. Remember that, guys. What's going to happen is when that situation comes up, that trigger, and it makes you want to binge, and you binge. not only is that situation still going to be the situation that made you feel fucking terrible to begin with, but now you're going to feel double horrible because now you're going to be physically in anguish. You're going to be physically sick to your stomach. And mentally, you're in even a worse place than you were before. Because sure, you were angry and you were sad or you were depressed, but now you're ashamed and you're guilty and you're even more sad or depressed than you were before because you binged. And we know that cycle that happens when you binge. You feel bad about yourself, and you don't want more of that. You got enough of that to begin with. So that's really what you have to make sure not to do. You do not want to pile on, because then the vicious cycle continues. If you're binging because you're sad and binging makes you sad, you're going to just keep binging. It's a vicious fucking cycle. In order to break that cycle, you got to really sack the fuck up and get ready to fight that shit and just really think about it rationally. Think about it logically. Be a Vulcan. Be like Spock. Think logically, because I know that eating disorders are not logical at all. They are not rational. They don't make sense. Nothing you do makes sense. Binging doesn't make sense. But if you just take yourself out of the moment, and mindfulness is the key here, and that's another thing we got to practice, and that's another vlog for another day, but mindfulness, being in that moment, and being able to take a step back and say, whoa, this is going to make me feel like ass. I already feel like ass. I don't want to feel like double ass. Why would I do this to myself? I'm better than this. I love myself. Why? Whatever happened, I didn't deserve that. Whatever bad thing made you upset, you didn't deserve that. Okay? And you don't need to punish yourself. You do not need to punish yourself by abusing your body and your mind by binging. Okay? You are better than that. You are worth more than that. You are a worthwhile human being. Okay? Don't think that you aren't. And binging doesn't make you less of a person. Having an eating disorder does not make you less of a person. It means you're having a struggle just like anybody else in this world. We all have our own demons. Some are worse than others, okay? But don't let anybody trivialize your eating disorder because just because you're not addicted to heroin or you're not an alcoholic doesn't mean an eating disorder can't fucking kill you, because it fucking can, and we know that. Sorry for the cussing. I'm very passionate about this stuff, guys. I think you know that by now. There's a lot of fitness people out there who, in my opinion, have made up their eating disorder pass in order to gain viewers and to have something to talk about. But this is my thing. I struggled with binge eating for close to 15 years. I know it. I'm happy that I'm past it, but I feel so badly for those who are struggling with it right now, because I know exactly how you guys feel. It feels like you're in a hole and you're never going to get out of it. You're just going to keep clawing and just falling back down in the hole, because there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But if you work at it, guys, if you keep fighting, if you keep doing the things I talk about, going to therapy, giving yourself that self-talk, the positive self-talk, being mindful, things like that. And it's like lifting. You don't go into the gym, do like 12 sets or 2 sets of 12 on the curls and think your arms are going to be 24 inches. That's not how that shit works. You don't do 1 session on the treadmill and expect to be ripped, or eat a salad and expect to have a fucking six-pack. That's not how it works. So don't expect the same thing from your brain, because in my experience, it's much harder and it takes much longer to make mental gains than it does. Holy shit, directed by J.J. Abrams. Sorry about that. It takes a lot longer to make mental gains than it does to make physical gains. All right? So, that's it. Sorry about the lens flare. Damn, that's rough. Whew. I'm in a rave. Anyways, I've had too much sugar. Guys, this is good talk. I hope to have many more of them. And if you have something... hold on. I've got a lot of great positive comments, and I appreciate those. And I know it's the internet and the nature of things. But given the topics we're discussing, I would expect some... so a little bit of editing, self-editing there. I went off on a tangent, and I got a little, I guess, fed into some negativity, and that's not what this is about. So I'm going to use the same philosophy on YouTube, same philosophy in these vlogs that I use on Instagram. I'm going to block out any kind of negativity. If you want to not participate in the conversation in a positive manner, you will be blocked from this channel, straight up. And I'm not gonna bore anybody else or bring anybody else's day down with some negative shit. And it is what it is. I'm gonna try to keep things need to stay positive on here. I want to be fun for the most part, constructive, but mostly positive. Okay, it can't all be puppy dogs and rainbows, but I want things to be positive, and I won't feed into that by giving trolls what they want. So, yeah, that's me trying to be a better Eric in 2017. Hope you guys appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time, and stay strong.
Let's go!